Alright, so let's create a new alpha channel. This is what the water layer now looks like. And by the way, we have reflection channel, so let's try it. Reflection pass. If we need to make the house reflection lighter, I'd use the layer reflection pass. But if, for example, I want to make watercolor lighter, then I'm going to need refraction pass. Here it is. So let's copy it and let's put it into the folder with water. So I'm just going to create a folder for that. So this is water, and I have a layer with reflection. Let me remove the masks. Refraction pass. And this water. So if I overlay refraction pass in the lighten or screen mode, watercolor will be lighter. So here's screen and here's lighten. Hopefully this is clear. So this is how I can make water brighter, more saturated. All right. So now I can correct this layer, choosing color balance, removing green, and also removing total saturation. So let's see how water looks with and without it. Even touch the fireplace a bit. Okay. These stones became pinky because the water is transparent now. So no problem at all. All these water defects can be easily erased. So that's the layer. I think I actually used plain black color for that. And I'll reduce it a little because now water is too light. I like this way more. So let's recheck all the layers because I switched something off here. The important thing here is not to become complicated, so I always recommend to put all the correcting layers and everything we added into a separate folder. This way we'll be able to easily handle this file. And if any corrections or amendments are required, we'll be able to easily re-render any pass, render element, mask, region, and put them into respective folder, add the mask, and it'll be all right. Okay, so I'm not gonna correct the dock. It's all fine. So why am I correcting all of this? Well, first of all, in order to add general color homogeneity for our rocks, not to be pink, the trees not to be too blue and green. So when it's all lit with evening light, it starts working approximately within the same gamma. So just for interest, let's let's see the difference between how it was and how it is now. So this is how it was, and it became more contrasted and more interesting in colors. And actually, let's also correct water by the shore. So I'll add some effects. We'll work with color correction later. I have a lonely lamp here. I'll add a lensing effect to it, as if we have a light source here. I'd like to place a dog here, I guess. Most probably it won't appear here in reflections due to large ripple. So we're free to add the object. And if our reflections were software, would have less ripple. So it'd have to set the 3D model and render the 3D model, or render 3D model in reflections and put a Photoshop dog here in Photoshop. Let me look for something suitable. I'm going to go to mrcutout.com, animals, and take some dog with illumination, occlusion. This one looks good. This one too. If we pay attention to details, we need to know the dog's height. So what dog is it? We can take this guy or this guy. So this is probably a Labrador Retriever. Labrador Retriever. So what's the difference? Retrievers are hairy and Labradors are smooth-haired, but in general, they resemble each other. So let's download it and learn the retriever's height. Golden Retriever Labrador, 56 to 63 centimeters. So let's take 56. In the 3D Max scene, it can be easily checked. So let's put him on the dock. I'll create a common box with a height of 56 centimeters. Dog's height's measured in shoulder height, so it's not the head height, but the shoulder one. We can make a simple screenshot. I'll mirror it. The entire image is mirrored. And now with the Shift key held, I'll adjust the size. I think I missed the screenshot proportions, but that's not a problem. A 1mm difference is insignificant. We can change the type in overlapping, for example, screen. Okay, proportions seem to be saved now. Here, replacing the dog. We'll give special place to the dog, create a special folder, and we'll call it dog. Put the reference screen here, and take the dog, So this is its height. Something like this. And well, there are problems. 4 feet a bit further, we have to hide these 4 feet because the dog is standing a bit further in the center of the dock, and the front end of the dock should cover the feet. So we're doing it like this. We'll be able to cut the feet to add additional mask. The line is straight, so there's no need to upload separate masks. We can just do like this. I think it's too much. Still, the paw should be seen. We'll have to sort of crumple our dog a little bit. So this is what we'll do. We'll select liquify in the filter panel, and we're gonna elongate the dog's paws a bit. There's a common line here. I'll measure along the forefoot. Now it's better. Correcting here. For this, we'll need the eraser tool. All right, great. The dog is ready and standing where it should be. But it should have reflection, and the dog should be much darker. So we'll do color correction by sight, and I tend to be guided by reference models and set the light according to them, but in our case, there's nothing we can do about it. So doing general light correction by sight, applying curves. Like so. Other objects as a prompt how other curves should look like. The dog's photo was made in irregular weather with regular neutral light. Same applies to rocks, so their color correction should be more or less the same. Let's check it. My curves reach the center line. We can add a highlight to add reflections from the house to the dog's back and head because the light is lit inside. It's easy to do. I take the mask with curves, drawing with a wide brush over the mask. We can take opacity brushes of small size for light brushwork. There. The dog is ginger. Too light. Should have the cold hue because it stands under cold sky light and it has its effect on the dog. So adding color balance. Making it more sort of blue. I think that's okay. We can check highlights in this layer. Take a mask, copy, and paste here. Not bad in general. I think that its slight contour should repeat a bit here also. Let's try to achieve light reflection from the dog. I'm not sure that it will look good, but we'll try. I'll take the original dog layer, copy lower. My correcting layers are reset. We should set everything through Alt. We have a layer with the dog. We have the reflection line. And so we have the dog. So we take its height into account. All elements, such as paws and so on, should coincide. The dog's reflection should not be expanded. We see that the house reflection is not expanded. There's a large ripple, but the house not expanded. So making the color correction dark. Colder. So I'm basically repeating the same settings. I don't want to simply merge these layers. So now we should achieve the natural dog's reflection. And the first thing we can do is add a mask to make it somewhat dissolve. We can see that the dog and the stones become less noticeable. So we'll make the ripple imitation. The filter is distort. Then choosing waves. The preview is small, not clear at all. Not what I expected. All right, another option, choosing filter gallery, the ocean ripple filter. Okay. That was a bad idea as well. Let's use another method. I have the original dog, so I'll try to turn it. There we go. I'm not going to perform color correction here, and instead I'll apply the zigzag filter. I take the original due to its high resolution, and the filter will be working more correctly. but we can't change the point where the image is going to be. So what can we do? We can increase the size, make canvas size in pixels. We'll make it 3000 by height and the same 3000 by width. And let's try once again. Try to use the zigzag filter. The image shifted lower and should look correct. There. The dog looks a bit crumpled, but it's no problem, I'll just warp it. Poor dog. But it's okay. So now I'm just going to change the application mode. So I'm going to try overlay. Looks too dark. Then I'm just going to decrease lighten and opacity. And it should lose transparency. To do this, we'll create a mask and make it a gradient. Let's remove extra ripple. Seems to look fine. And let's have a look at it without reflection. It's more realistic with reflection.